Hitler needed a Germany which was downtrodden, oppressed, unemployed. Why? Because then he gave them the goal. However wrong the goal was, but he was able to give that goal to the people. Why? Because people were miserable. Nobody here wants you to be out of misery. But if they are yelling at each other, swearing at each other, throwing things at each other, yes, that's what I want to see. Why? Because it is out of ordinary. You here can solve your problems. You alone can solve your problems. So stop whining about it. Stop crying about your miseries. Get up. Pull yourself together. Gather the courage and find a solution out of it. Walk towards the happiness. Hey guys, namaskar. Today's question that we're answering is, why do we choose misery over joy? Why do we choose misery over joy? See, one simple explanation that people give you is, because this is how we evolved. Back in the days when we were living in the forest, in the jungle, you're always scared of if there is a leopard, if there's a lion behind this tree or behind this bush, or the other tribes people gonna come and kill your family, your tribe, and so on. So you're always focused on the negativity or the negative aspects that could happen in your life. And because of this, we think like this. And also because of this, we are able to advance in our civilization and come to a level where technology and the way we are living today, it's all because of this element of focus on the negativity. I don't so much buy this idea, even if this idea is partially has weight. On the deeper level, I think there are three different reasons, I would say, why we focus on misery over joy. Number one, there is so much negative news, negative information is fed to us on a daily basis, on an hourly basis. An average man consumes more negative news in one day than in last 200 years combined together. Imagine the scale of it. 50 years ago, 100 years ago, all you had was, in some parts of the world, radio, newspaper, and then slowly kind of spread everywhere in the world, and other elements of media also spread in the world. But in those days, what you would have is a radio which will cover some songs, some news, a newspaper which is 4, 5 or 10 pages, which will cover international news, local news, and maybe your national news. And that's all about it. If you have 10 pages, then you can fill the stuff because things are happening at international level, things are happening on national level. But now we have reached a stage that every city will have 10 different magazines, so many cities in a country, so many countries in the world, so many pages that you have to fill in. If I have 100 pages magazine, I have to find news to fill this for this issue. Next month, 100 pages again. Where the hell I'm gonna get so much news from? Think about it. So the quality of information goes down and down. Plus, there's an element inside us that we like something which is out of ordinary. Think about all the reality shows. Have you ever seen a reality show which is very normal, very amiable, that few people in the house are sitting and enjoying the movie, they're doing their work, going back to sleep, getting up in the morning? It's very mundane, it's very routine. I don't want to see it, you don't want to see it. But if they're yelling at each other, swearing at each other, throwing things at each other, yes, that's what I want to see. Why? Because it is out of ordinary. You go to a restaurant for food, and if the customer service is alright, it's granted. It is granted for me to have a good customer service. But anything which is very out of ordinary, not really a good customer service, I'll go back and tell my friends about it. I'll even write a review on this. Look at the movies. It has come to a stage that every movie is going for the extremism. The love making has to be very extreme. The war has to be extreme. The action has to be extreme. As if the entire OTT platform is sitting on the cliff, showing you the extreme level of content in whatever theme that they are pursuing. If you're sitting on the cliff all the time, you will fall. A time will come the mental health issues will become big for society and you will start falling. Look at the songs. So much violence there. So much swearing there. Why? Because it is extreme. It catches our attention when we watch it. And they know this and that's why they keep putting it. So number one reason is because there is so much negativity around us. Whatever we consume, this is what we will focus on. Our perception of the world becomes like this. Second reason is there is hope in misery. In happiness, there is fear. The fear of losing the happiness. In misery, there is hope of getting the happiness. If you are the best player in the world, you're the best cricket player, you're best tennis player, you're best NBA star, you got to defend it. The pressures in the society is that you have to defend it. And that pressure, too much to handle. But if you're not the best player, you have a hope to become the best player. And then you're okay with that. It is also, one angle to look at this is, it is also important for a king to keep the entire kingdom in the misery. Why? Because then he can motivate them for whatever he wants. Hitler needed a Germany which was downtrodden, oppressed, unemployed. Why? Because then he gave them the goal. However wrong the goal was, but he was able to give that goal to the people. Why? Because people were miserable. Nobody here wants you to be out of misery. They want that from you so that they can manipulate you. What happy nation goes for the war? What happy citizens fight with each other? They're satisfied with themselves. The other element in this point I will ask you to do is stop going to people and cry about your miseries. Who here is interested in your miseries? Go and tell them that if you come to me talking about your miserable situations, your problems in life, I will not entertain this, and see how many people will stand up and walk away from the room. Who here can solve your problems? You alone can solve your problems. So stop whining about it. Stop crying about your miseries. Get up. Pull yourself together, gather the courage and find a solution out of it. Walk towards the happiness. The third point is the most foundational point of our existence. That is, happiness is our nature. We are inbuilt to try to go to the happiness. And in this journey, the supreme happiness, the ultimate happiness, the universal consciousness, the God, the truth, the T. In this journey, when we find small bits and pieces of mundane happiness, for example, a private jet, for example, a position of being a president, for example, CEO, for example, the best tennis player, for example, the best movie star, that will still not give us happiness. Look at the pages of history. What king died happily? What peasant died happily? The few who are on the journey to reach the Supreme Personality, the few who have reached and touched the surface of truth are the only ones who are happy. Otherwise, everything of this world cannot bring happiness. It will still leave a void in you. So my friends, I believe there are three main reasons. Number one, because there is so much negative news fed to us from all the different directions. My suggestion, be very conscious about what apps are adding value in your life. Adding value as it is helping in your personal growth. It is helping you to reach your goal. It is helping you become a better human being. Helping you do something in society. Give something away. Give something back to society. If it is not, delete that app. And the app is helping you, find out what accounts are helping you get there. If it is not, delete them, unfollow them. Very simple. Just focus on these things as a good starting point. Be very conscious of what information you are consuming, because whatever you consume, that defines the perception that you will have for the world. Number two, in happiness, there lies a very subtle fear of losing the happiness. In misery, you have the hope for the happiness. And that is why you will see people all around They're happy to be miserable. As if we all are together in this, we are okay. There's a community here. Don't fall for this trap. Find the right way to move forward in life. Find a way for your personal growth. Stop going to people and cry about your problems. Nobody's here who can solve your problems. Third one, very important one, is our fundamental nature. As the fundamental nature of water is to go to the oceans, the fundamental nature of fire is to go to the sun. For example, look at this. Look at this fire here. What is it trying to do? Go to the sun, the source. Our fundamental nature is to go to the source as well, where the true blissfulness exists. Hence, all this mundane happiness of life always still leaves the void. I hope this video made some sense, give you some more clarity about how the world works and what is in your agency, what is that you can do to change something about it. If you like this video, in the comments, think about it and tell me what is that one thing that you will do or start doing from tomorrow onwards to move the needle a little bit towards happiness. Once again, thank you very much for listening to my thoughts with so much patience, and I bow down to the spark of divinity in all of you. Namaskar. Hey guys, if you like the video, please like it, subscribe it, and share with your friends and family. If they find value in it, they will thank you. Also, in the description below, I've added a few really good, very valuable guides for you, all of it for free of cost. Number 1 is Digital Detox, 7 proven tips in terms of how to stay aware and in technology, but at the same time, stay away from it. Second guide is 7 signs that you're living in your universal harmony. Please check it out. The third one is a resource booklet that I've created, the list of all the books, videos, documentaries, podcasts that will help you in your life, professionally, personally, and understanding deeper layers of life. I've also published a book, Discover Your Dharma as It Is. It's on Amazon. Check it out. It's full of interactive stories, interactive exercises, and the interpretation of Dharma, which is more meaningful, more useful in the modern context. Thank you very much. And if you have any more questions, please reach out to me.